Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Another Monday. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend in sales. I can tell you that we had an excellent Friday, great Saturday, and just a okay Sunday. But all in all, it boiled down to be about a $1,400 weekend, and for that, I'm happy. I can't complain. So sales are still going on, despite the fact that eBay continues to just add glitch after glitch after glitch. And as I mentioned before, this isn't about me complaining because I'm just, look, I expect this is going to be the norm from here on out. Glitch City, you can expect this kind of thing to happen all the time. The key is to just brush it off. And while it's annoying, I know sometimes when you're losing like drafts and stuff we were doing like on Saturday night, no, Friday night, actually, after the live during Beard's Live, we were dealing with having drafts that just disappeared. So a lot of times I'm in my account while I'm on his live, but people were complaining about the drafts just gone. Everything was gone. And I'm like, okay, well, I know I have drafts, so let's see what happens here. And they were gone, but then they came back within like a half an hour. So obviously that's eBay working on stuff in the background. And of course, as I've said before, you just got to get used to the idea that we're beta testers. Our business is constantly dealing with beta testing. So it's sort of like if you had a brick and mortar and the electric company was constantly testing the lights or constantly testing, whatever. And it, you have an outage here and you just have to sometimes work in the dark for a little bit and then just deal with it. And that's kind of what, as bad of an analogy that is, it's kind of what we're dealing with as sellers on the platform. And as long as the customers continue to come in, then we have to continue to just keep grinding. Now, as I mentioned on, I believe it was Friday's program, there was a number of different issues that has affected the platform. Some sellers haven't even seen it. I haven't seen this. But like someone like Josh Galt, he's dealing with the address issue where he has some buyers where eBay has went to their original address. Maybe they had a move or something, or maybe they just decided that they were going to have their packages shipped to their office or whatever. And it's now reverting to the old original address that they signed up with. And that's causing problems for some. Let's say someone moves out of state, they can't just go back to their old address and pick up the package. And they doubtfully there's a chance they don't know who the package is in the hands of. So it does create a problem. And I know he's been dealing with that issue with eBay as well as a lot of sellers. This other issue now, Value Added Resources has been talking about it. You also have E-commerce Bytes talking about this, where it's a systems issue. So eBay is saying it's nothing related to anything, but we can sort of assess that maybe this has something to do with the address issue. But there's cancellations going on. So some sellers are getting emails that say sale canceled by eBay due to a systems issue, and it's canceling the sale. No explanation other than that. And, it's leaving sellers kind of up in the air with, well, I have a perfectly good sale here. Why can't you allow the sale to go through? And I think while I appreciate the fact that eBay's stepping in, if this is linked to the address thing, stepping in to prevent you from shipping it out to the wrong address, I think eBay should do a little bit more and say, look, we've encountered this problem. Please reach out to your buyer and arrange to redo the transaction, or at least give an explanation as to why this is happening. Because looking at this, there's a lot of sellers that are having this problem. Now, the email says your order was canceled due to a systems issue. It says eBay recently identified a systems issue that impacted your order. As a result, we have had to cancel your order and issue a refund to the buyer. Please check your canceled orders for more details. Now, I'm doubtful that it'll ever say anything more than that in the canceled details. It says, we apologize for any inconvenience and issue that this may have caused, and we have refunded your fees. Hope that you choose to relist your item. We'd like to assure you that your seller performance rating won't be impacted by defects resulting from this issue. Shouldn't be any defects at all. and we will proactively remove neutral or negative feedback. Well, good luck with that. If you have already shipped your item or have any questions, please get in touch. We're here to help. But you're losing a sale. We used to get messages like this when we had a buyer that maybe they figured the buyer was a scammer, or they did something, they deactivated the buyer's account. Something was wrong. And sometimes we get the message after we ship the item to the buyer. But at least they told us that there's a problem with the buyer, and this is why we're canceling your transaction. If there's nothing wrong with the buyer, why aren't they doing everything they can to help facilitate a repurchase so that we're not losing sales? That's a problem for me. So again, I think eBay could have done more here to resolve this issue. So if you're going through this glitch or any of the ones that we've covered, please comment in the chat, or of course, if you're watching after the fact, comment down below. Now, if you're watching after the fact, regardless of how you're watching this, do me a favor, be sure to hit that like button. If you hit the like button somehow, some way, I don't know why, I've still, this one of the mysteries of the world that I'll never figure out. You're going to get a sale in the next 24 hours. And it just works that way. I don't know, but people report that happening all the time. I want to give a shout out to our members. Before we begin here, we have the eBay Grind Grandma, the Tommy Bernard Podcast, Gail Carlson, Biscuit Butt Archie, Callie Debs, Devon Short, Mike Seller, Ricardo I, Jerry Johnson, John Gilbert, Mike Camparelli, Wiggy Q, Kina, and Primo Chemo. So thank you guys for being a member of the channel, helping to support the channel. And I do believe that we want to kind of give a shout out whenever we can to thank you guys.
Yeah, because hopefully, and eventually we won't be able to list them all.
Oh yeah, it'll be one of those things where we maybe have to run like a montage at the end of the show that maybe, you know, shows your name, something like that. So we're looking at constant ways to add value to that program, more than just having some fun little icons to chat with and stuff. But we got to try to figure that out for what it's worth. So again, just want to thank you guys for being here, and not only being here, but just contributing to the program, whether or not you're a member. So thank you guys for that. So let's see who we have here today. We have Jovial Juggler says, how is it possible that most intellectual creatures to ever walk the planet Earth is destroying its only home? Jane Goodall. It's Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day. Now go plant a tree. Mike Camparelli says, hi, John and Jenna and FA family. Hope everyone is doing well. My sales have continued to stay strong last 2 weeks. Continued good listing habits, I'm sure, has helped. That certainly helps. Listing habits, account maintenance habits, quick interaction with your customer habits, sending constant offers to watchers habits. Those always seem to help. Mike says, on the topic, I'm glad that I've been immune to recent eBay shipping glitches, but I'm keeping a careful eye out nonetheless. Anything can happen at any time. Proactive is the only way to go. Yes, that's a very good way to run any business, is being proactive. But speaking of shipping glitches, here we go. Huh?
Really?
Well, I want to see.
I'm just going to go lay down.
It's a mistake.
I'm just going to go lay down.
The reason why we do that, I do this, is to show that I share my mistakes all the time with you guys.
But he's really wanting to share when Jenna makes a mistake.
But it came out to it actually came out to a decent resolution. So
I'm going to go take a nap.
I thought you were doing that already.
There's no need for me to be here.
No, stop it. So we sold a pair of the Nike shoes in the box that I picked up at the yard sale last weekend. And I don't know, I guess the size was the same because they have their own unique boxes. I don't know, maybe she can explain what she was doing there. But she sent out another pair of Adidas NMDs that we had for like $75. They were in the box. And so the guy gets them and says, oh, looks like you sent out the wrong pair. And so she's like, honey, what do I do? And I'm like, well, let's do this. Let's, instead of having him open a return, because it seems like he still wants the shoes, let's offer to send him a return label. And as soon as there's an acceptance scan on that return label, I know he could send a brick back.
FYI, there is no shoe box.
There's no shoe box? Okay. So an acceptance scan on the package from the buyer, then I will go ahead and ship out the correct pair. And that I thought that was a fair resolution. You know, you got to kind of take a leap of faith that these buyers aren't scammers when you make a mistake. So apparently Jenna's like, hey, this guy sent something back, and he's like, what? How much do you want if I keep these? They're both size 9s, and apparently the shoes he bought from us for $40 Nikes, and these were $75 NMDs with the box. And so I went in and I said, look, I sent him a screenshot of the auction that the listing that we canceled, the NMDs that of course we needed to cancel. We didn't want anyone buying them if he has them. And I said, look, these are 75 plus shipping. I will, if you want to keep the ones you have, I will set up a listing to where it's $50 free shipping for these, and we'll ship you out the Nikes. And I haven't heard back from him since. I don't know. He might have not received the message.
He's probably like, yeah, I got NMDs for $40.
Yeah. Or he said, can I keep these? And I'm like, well, I can't force you to send them back. So bottom line is,
even Jenna makes mistakes. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, but it's not always eBay's fault. That's kind of what I'm saying. Sometimes we all make our own glitches.
You know, just turn it a little more.
That's because I love you. I wouldn't. It's
I
poke at you. I poke at you because I love you. It's look. It's a learning experience that it's going to be. You're going to be more careful next time because you're like, I don't want John to talk about it on the next live.
I'm not going to continue the conversation about this here subject. But I sure am going to explain to you why it happened when we're done.
Why don't you tell us now? Why did it happen?
Because John doesn't label anything.
Okay, now.
John wraps everything in saran wrap so thick that you can't see through it. So in order to actually verify, you have to cut into all of the saran wrap.
Were they in the same rack?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it is what it is, but mistakes happen, right? I'm just saying, look, if I don't want to portray this picture to the crowd, to the folks watching, that we somehow are immune from making mistakes and screwing up. That's all I'm trying to say.
No, I get that.
And these guys hear when I screw up.
I am human. I do make mistakes. However, this is still raw. This just happened within the last 15 minutes.
It's still not resolved yet.
It's not resolved yet, and it's just a little raw still.
Well, maybe if it would have happened yesterday, I would have forgotten about it.
You don't forget about anything.
Jackie says, hi all, wondering if you opted out of giving eBay shipping discounts to the buyers. I did. No. It was something I always had in there in my shipping preferences. I was always giving that buyer the discount. And to me, I mean, everyone has their own plan on how they want to handle it. But for me, it's about, am I trying to be competitive? And do I want to extend the same shipping? I'll add $1 or $2 to my handling so that it offsets the fees I'm getting charged on that, right? And a few cents to cover a 15-cent poly mailer, or maybe 5 to 10 cents worth of bubble wrap, or a 50-cent box. You know, that $1 or $2 will help offset those costs so that it's an even thing. Because really, you should really be striving to make money off of the item and not on the shipping itself. If you're making money off of the item, maybe to offset the fact that you don't have a lot of room to make money off of the shipping, to offset the fact you're not making money off the item, that's problematic. And again, this show isn't about disparaging people and their business models. Unlike there's some people that think that's what I do. But the idea is to kind of just speak openly to you guys as to how I feel about certain things. And I ain't even trying to say that I'm right. This is just how I see things. If you strive for making as much money as you can off of that item, you know, that $10 item you flip into 50 or 60 or more, then you don't really feel the pressure or the need to find creative ways to help offset eBay fees and supplies and things like that. So that's just my opinion on it. Grandma Mary says, happy Monday, FA fam. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Jovial Juggler says, Prosser, nice to see you in the chat again this week. He says, hey all, and happy Earth Day. I don't know how I missed it.
How'd you miss that?
I have no idea. I think it's because I was getting scolded and I just totally lost where I was at. But it's all right. Joe Samart says, "Howsy, Jenna and John? Thanks for being here."
Howsy.
Jerry Johnson says, "Hi, John and Jenna and FA family."
Hi, Jerry.
Mark Suddick says, "Hi. I'll hope everyone has great sales week. Hit that like button to get this week's sales started."
That's right.
And today's kind of starting off, and we have like a $200 day in sales right now. Nothing to get all excited about, but you know what? After we're done here, I'm going to be grinding. Yeah, you got 2 sales on. I took a small sale.
2 sales.
Yeah, I took a small sale on.
I took a really small sale.
I know, but that was one of those head covers, a golf club head cover that.
But I made up for it by selling those Adidas.
Oh, the Adidas sold. Okay.
Yeah.
And, you know, I did a little experiment because normally we put the shoes on her account, but I wanted to see what would happen if I put a couple of those pairs of shoes on my main account, and they both sold. They both sold. The Nikes that had the box didn't have an insole. And of course I put that in the listing and took photos of it. And despite that, of course I lowered the price and everything. It had a pretty nice colorway and they looked brand new.
Yeah. If they were my size, I would have kept them.
Even with those pink ones.
Yeah.
And the other ones were a pair of Vans that were like the Peanuts. It was yellow with the black swirly thing.
They were cute. Nothing I would wear, but they were cute.
So there's people who are into that.
No, I know.
So those sold fairly well. So I guess what I'm considering is something I was looking at doing back at the beginning of the year, and it's not going to happen anytime soon. But as we went before the yard sale, we went in and we took out stuff worthy of the yard sale out of that account, and we not even considered putting that back on, nor will we. It's in a tub. Those things are in a tub waiting for the next yard sale.
Just FYI, just if we're pointing out flaws, you didn't take any of those down from my store, so I had to go in and do a full delist.
No, I didn't do it. I didn't do it through TreeCat. I did it off of eBay, and maybe that's where I screwed up. Which ones did I miss?
All of the hats, all of the license plate covers.
Then something's wrong because I remember doing that. And if it didn't do it, then there's something happened. But I distinctly remember doing that. But nonetheless, no harm, no foul. Nothing was sold.
See, John makes mistakes too.
Yeah, we make mistakes that I can't verify. So I don't know if I did or not. She's saying that I did.
You can't even admit.
But the goal, if they don't care about my mistakes, they want to hear about what we're going to do.
They want to hear about mine.
They
Fair. Okay. It's fair. It's totally fair.
What we're going to do is we have 6 to 10 different military.
You brought me some good lunch.
Military things what are some of those military things like?
The Army. There
pouches
are some gear, pouches, for knives, and they have. I don't know. They're just random little pouches that Marines wear on their fatigues. Yeah.
So instead of trying to go back and list them separately, I mean, we had them listed for months separately. They weren't selling.
I bundled them. They didn't sell.
But bundle everything. Not just a couple, but bundle the whole thing. A full lot of military gear. I'll let you do that. I will. And then, list it. Even if I have to put it on auction, start off at $5 and just see, where it goes. Who cares? We've got clothing that we took out of our closets that we're putting on the yard sale. I don't know, probably donate that. But there's other things that I look at and go, you know what? Like all these hats, we're talking 50 to 60 hats. Put them all on a lot. Someone will buy them up. A reseller who wants to sit on them and all that. Some of them are pretty good. I am absolutely
shocked that none of John's hats sold.
And not only mine didn't sell, but the gentleman down the street, his hats were in the tub.
He had just as many out as we did, and not one person bought a hat, which was absolutely the weirdest thing to me.
But I have to say, it's probably a smart thing. If you're buying hats willy-nilly and just putting them up, you're not going to make a whole lot. And these are good hats that we had out, but people were just passing them up.
I mean, okay, so just to be fair, other people. You'll watch videos where other channels do the same thing we do, and they sell hats on a regular basis every day, all day long. I don't know what it is about our stores. We don't sell hats as often as anybody else does. You know, I can tell you Shane, he sells a hat nearly every day. So I don't know why our hats are not garbage.
No,
I mean,
they're pretty good.
They're actually
nice,
very nice. And I mean, I have my own collection of hats, which I don't wear hats very often, except in the summertime, you know, at the river, at the pool, at the, you know, going out to yard sales. I'll wear a hat. But, you know, I don't understand why nobody.
Yeah, I even took some hats. I even took some hats out of my rotation, what I normally wear around, and I put them in the yard sale because it's time for new ones.
If you saw his what?
I didn't say that.
You lie.
I have no idea what you just heard.
Oh no! If you saw the amount of hats that this man owns, you would probably smack me for allowing it to happen because it's.
They know how many hats I wear.
insane.
Anybody who watches the show often enough knows that I don't wear the same hat over and over again. I wear different hats.
No, that's correct.
I'm a man of different hats.
I don't care about
many
it.
hats.
However, I wish there was a better organization rather than piled up on
Well,
the
they're
dresser.
in a kind of a neat row. They're kind of in rows of hats that are kind of nestled in one another. If you guys kind of know how hats are. What are you looking for?
All the hats that you have strawn around
There's
the
none
house.
here. Jeez, you make these people think I'm a slob. Glenda Bavona says, hi, John and Jenna, plus all the FAE family. Stephen J. 78 says, if sales stay this good to me and the wife can move up to a double wide.
I love that. One day you'll aim for that triple wide.
Andy says, do they make? No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Do they?
My mom actually.
How do you know about triple wide?
Okay, I know about triple wides because my mom actually had one that she put up in the mountains, and it was a whole debacle, but it was a triple wide.
Indiana in the house.
Huge.
Got a couple of those dirty words that start with R today.
Ooh.
Oh, don't do that. We don't want to talk about this on the show.
We move on. I'm sorry about your luck.
I did get
That
one
sucks.
over the weekend, but it is what it is. You know, this is going to happen. Maya says, hello. Thanks for being here. Bobbles Blings and Needful Things. Lissa says, happy, beautiful Earth Day. FA peeps. Howdy, wonderful John and sweet Jenna.
Hello,
yes, hello,
my beautiful friend.
And we've got Spam and I believe also Primo's hanging out too. Thanks for being here. Grandma Mary says, aloha.
Aloha, Grandma.
Christie's with us says, hello all.
Oh, how cute. Okay.
And Rhiannon says, hello, J&J FA fam. Happy Yunday. Wishing everyone epic sales. Oh, no. Thanks for being here.
Rhiannon, I apologize. He's on a different level.
Lissa says, hiya, Miss Maya Koyama.
Hiya, Miss Maya. She's trying to rhyme and she don't know it.
Larry Todd says, well, here we are with nothing better to do than to be nice to each other. There's nothing wrong with being nice to each other. Kelly Deb says, hi, everyone. I'm having a disappearing drafts as well. Well, hopefully it's not happening anymore.
I hope it's not happening anymore because it was, in the beginning, it was everybody. It happened all at one time. And then little by little, I would refresh and refresh and refresh. It would come up and then I'd refresh again and it would go away. And it kept doing that.
And I was getting kind of ticked off. And I'm like, okay, not so much for myself because on my main account, you know, while it was happening, there was nothing there. And I'm like, okay, I have like 5 to 10, which isn't nothing. But I was getting kind of mad I was having flashbacks at the folks who had to go through that whole debacle 2 to 3 years ago where they lost all their photos. And my thought was, man, this sucks. For those who put in all the work to get these drafts done, and thankfully, at least from what I understand, mine came back. So hopefully yours came back as well. Yeah. Henri Squaw says, howdy, 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 John, Jenna, and FA crew. Well, thank you for being here.
Howdy.
Let's see here. Bama, Josh, Bama Jaybird Resell says, hello, friends. Hope everyone is doing well today.
Yes, we
Pretty
are.
Well. I know that I am inundated with product. Went and picked up my SUV full of product, got it unloaded.
You didn't even pick it all up.
Well, no, we have another batch, 2 batches tomorrow that I have to pick up. And I'm just wondering to myself, okay, the rack my main unloading rack, my waiting for you to list this item rack is very almost full. And so I'm like, okay, I go tomorrow, and where the hell am I going to put all this stuff? So tonight, after the live, I'm just going to get into like this mode, and I'm going to list as much as I can, and or not just get it listed, but maybe make scheduled listings for this tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be a show for me. I'm going to be driving back and forth all over town. So maybe have those scheduled to run out tomorrow, list tomorrow. And by doing that, I can remove those from those racks and put them into their actual home where they wait for the sale. And that'll free up some room to when I drop this stuff off. I just, I'm still around 200 listings, and it just feels like I'm running out of space. I haven't expanded my store. I don't know what the problem is or why it's happening, but I'm just going to make it work. Pot G Graham says, anyone else having trouble with TreeCat? It's duping listings and not syncing properly. Have you seen anything like that?
I have not. I worked on TreeCat pretty much most of the day yesterday, and I didn't have a problem. But what I do is, real quick, I do a full sync every night before I go to bed. Okay. So I don't know if that...
I don't know if TreeCat's on here with us. I know they try to make it a point to be on here with us.
You also have an email that you never read. He wants to do a call.
Oh, well, thanks for letting me know. I don't always read my emails. So apparently he wanted to get together and do a call and talk about something. That's Mike from TreeCat. But I do know, look, we say this a lot, but it's the truth. And it's not just to make an excuse for anything. It's a new product. It's a new software. And there's many reasons why it's not in the billing phase yet. Of course, the payment processor isn't set up yet, but I'm sure part of it is they want to get all the kinks out. And if you're having some issues with it, they want to know about it so they can identify it. And even if it's not on their side, maybe I know it, like with new software, you got user error as well. Maybe they could show you, you need to do this here before you do that, if that makes sense. So do reach out to them, but hopefully they're listening and they can jump in on this chat here. And he wants to do a call with me to talk about using the end item sell similar, which is the scheduled delist relist feature that is going to be implemented here. And for those of you guys want to check it out, and I won't make this a big thing about it, but those of you guys want to check out the cross-listing program, maybe you've been considering doing cross-listing. I put out a live stream over the weekend if you want to go and look at that, talking about the myths of cross-listing, at least from my perspective. But if you're interested in trying it out, doesn't cost anything, get your items onto other platforms, Poshmark, Mercari, then use the link down below and get started. Let's see. We got Tommy. Tom is with us, says, yep, Jesus ordered something for me. I got lost somewhere in the desert with Moses. Chances are that maybe it's not lost. Maybe Roman has it, because he seems to be quite old himself, even though he's not, but he's an old soul. Noah Design says, what's up, Rockstar and Jenna? Not that Rockstar, though. Yeah, I'm not a rock star by any means, but and I know you're not talking about Casey, so I don't know who you're talking about. I don't proclaim to be anything but just some old guy in my garage trying to make this thing work. Larry Todd says, Jesus lives in Texas. Soda City Flip says, what's pimpin'? How's everyone doing? What's up, FA fam? Y'all go smash that like button for those amazing hosts. Well, thank you. Appreciate that, Shane. Thanks for being here and hanging out with us. Chastity is with us. I had a weird one today. The login screen on desktop switched to a foreign language for a split second. I did not log in. I closed the tab, opened a new one, and immediately changed my password. That's really, really strange. Yeah, someone from overseas got a hold of your account. I don't know. Noah Design wants to know, Jesus lives in Texas?
I don't know. Is that a question or is that a statement?
We got a little sign in our bathroom. Jesus and germs are everywhere. So be sure to, what does it say? To
Jesus and germs are everywhere, so make sure you wash your hands.
Yeah. So there you go. That answers that. That confirms that it's not just in Texas.
No, Todd, I'm not sick. I have this weird tickle in my throat. It's been happening since last night. I just pray that it's nothing more than just a tickle.
Gail Carlson with the green on her name, but you guys don't see that for some reason. Says, hello, John and Jenna and FA family. Thank you for being here, Gail. Flip It Good says, happy Monday. Happy Monday to you.
Gail subscribed. That's why she's...
Yeah, that's what I know. That's why I said she has the green on her name.
Oh.
Ping G says, hello, John and Jenna and the chat.
Hello,
Thanks
Ping.
for being here, Ping. Maya says, I put my store into vacation mode. Can't risk the canceling orders in transit and refunding buyers with my money.
Are you on vacation? And where are you on vacation?
And
I want a vacation.
The only problem with vacation mode is there's no sales. You're just basically saying, I'm not open. You're putting that closed sign up on your store and you're not getting any sales. I've never done that. I know it depends really. I would only consider doing that if I'm gone more than say 5 days, 5 or 6 days, because what I like to do whenever we go to California, I know I'm going to be like for the holidays and that, we're going to be gone for like 5 days. I'll just have it set instead of same day handling. I'll go 5 day. And of course, now the next day, the day after we'll go 4 days. Then we'll go change it to 3 days. And it's a quick thing. Just go onto the laptop, change it all, bulk edit. And then the last day, I'll change the same day. And then it's like I never left. And that way I'm making sales. Yes, there will be people who will buy, wondering what the hell is my package, but there's a range of dates that eBay gives you that it's expected to arrive. So eBay is simply going to add the 5 days or the 6 days to that number, and that's what the buyer sees. So, and that's what you're responsible for, to make sure that you hit that range. So I don't know. I think that just the idea of losing sales, I want my store to be running and making me money every day, even on days I take off, which I don't take days. I'll take time off, but you guys know what I'm saying. Well, I'm always working on the account.
This golf trip, you're forced to take time off.
And I really won't, because when I pull into Parker, I'll be pulling into the parking lot and I'll be answering questions and sending out offers and stuff.
If there's anything there, because your amazing wife will be handling that.
Right. So and you are amazing, and you'd be even more amazing if you decided to do the live on that Friday while I'm gone.
No, that's not going to happen.
I'm still trying to talk her into it,
I will
guys.
kindly do the business needs, but I won't be going live by myself.
She's afraid that she did such a great job last year that it's going to be very difficult to replicate that, and she just doesn't want to have to live up to the expectations she created last year when she filled in. So therefore, she's not wanting to do it.
You're so cool.
Let's see. Chatterbrains says, hey, just going to listen while sorting inventory. Well, awesome.
Hey. I hope it goes well.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Tommy Bernard says, I probably get a fraud message once a month after shipping, and I keep the money. Do you? A fraud message? Now, what do you mean by a fraud message? Like this buyer, we had to cancel the sale, don't ship the item out kind of thing to the buyer, that one? Silver hair Larry Todd says, no one in Texas hires illegal.
They're talking about
this
Jesus
is some sidebar.
Doing his roof.
This is some sidebar action going on here. I don't know. 99% of the time it's going to Oregon, so go figure. Oh, you're talking about the fraudulent ones. We've got Freya says, hi, everyone. Thanks for being here, Freya. Midwest Pickers with us says, how's it going?
Hey.
And Mike Sellers with us. Hey, everyone. Mike has that green mark on his name that you guys can't see. At least, maybe you can, maybe you can't. Maybe in the chat you can see it.
I can see it.
On the chat? Can you see it on eBay chat?
No.
So it doesn't show on the chat.
There is no eBay chat. There is a YouTube chat. And,
yes, that's what I mean. See,
yes,
okay. It does have it on the chat. So, Larry Todd says, Earth Day, I trimmed bushes today. No screaming was heard. Well, hey, it's the same as cutting your hair, right? You're not going to, you got to maintain your hair.
I need to get out there and do the pomegranate tree. Oh my gosh, my poor tree is.
Yeah, before it gets to be, I mean, this this weekend it started getting hot. I
Yeah.
went out and played golf yesterday, and I'm thinking, okay, it started off like really 80 degrees, beautiful. I have a little video that I'm going to put out with one of my videos here of like 20, 30 seconds of just why I go out and play golf, right? It isn't to terrorize homeowners and get them afraid that I'm gonna hit their window. It's really to get out and it's just relaxing, right? And it was like 80 degrees, and then it got hot. It got to like 95 when I was done, and I was done. And we're not even there yet to the hot part of we're like another 20 degrees more that I have to go before it gets to where it normally is. No One Design says, I'm still sticking to what I said. I won't be a member of the channel till John dresses up like Ron Burgundy.
Oh my God, that would be so funny. I would die.
I don't know about all that. I mean, I've done things on this channel like dressing like a bunny and stuff. I've done that, but I don't know about all that. Semper Fi says, tonight is Passover for those who celebrate. Well, I think you're right. I think it's Passover. Passover until the end of the month, right? I'm not, because I'm not Jewish, I really don't know the traditions behind that, but yeah, I think that's you're correct. Yeah. Andre Squaw says, Passover. I planted some peas yesterday.
Peas.
Okay. Yeah, I like peas a lot, but you know what? I haven't had peas in years, and it's not by choice. This woman won't allow me to buy any. And she thinks it's gross. And what she's fine with eating like fried rice when they put the beans, the peas in there, right? But she won't eat peas.
I pick out those peas. Thank you.
That's just.
You don't understand the torturous childhood I had as to eat peas.
Torturous.
Absolutely disgusting. That's only because my dad liked them. My mom hated them. And then when my dad passed away, we no longer had to eat peas anymore.
She won't eat wings. She won't eat ribs. You know why? Because they're on a bone. Okay. I made some steak yesterday, some New York strip steak. And I know I was going to have to do this anyway. I cut the little bone off of the side.
Isn't he a great husband?
So it's like, really? Come on. You're missing out on life.
No, I'm not.
A good steak, a good steak with a side of peas and little mashed potatoes is a beautiful thing. No, I haven't been able to eat.
Just the thought of the pea in my mouth makes me want to.
No, it's not pea. It's peas. We have Larry Todd says, Earth Day, hug some dirt.
Hug some dirt.
Thank you, Larry Todd. or thank you, Todd, for doing that. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Todd.
We do appreciate you guys. It's not necessary at all to send us a super chat, but when you do, we certainly appreciate the gesture. Let's see. Underscore, we won't even know if it's sent to the wrong address until we get a complaint. Mm-hmm. Yes, and let's hope your buyer decides to reach out to you. You know, you have some buyers who maybe are guest buyers or really haven't done a whole lot of buying on eBay, and they don't know really about the whole message thing. And so they immediately go to negative feedback or something ridiculous like that.
Shane, no, it's peas. P-E-A-S.
I don't want to read that comment.
No, you're going to.
Tom A says, Jenna, no one cares about the mistake that happened. We want to know if you had any complaints with poly bags yet.
No, not one. Thank you very much. And that guy got his stuff in a poly, but he was super nice.
Right. But he's going to get his in a box. Well, a poly box if he decides to take on that offer. Tommy Z says, John, Jenna, you are two are my favorite reselling couple. Well, thank you, Tommy Z.
Thank you, Tommy.
Awesome. Nice of you.
Tommy Z, not
Tommy Z.
B.
We're probably not Tommy B's favorite reselling couple,
No.
but Tommy Z, we appreciate you for saying that. It's really nice of you. The Thrifty Loon says, hey, FAE family.
Hey,
Thanks for being here. And we got Big Dre says, I picked up 40 galvanic spa facial gels for $12.50 of the weekend. Sold my first one today. They're $30 each.
Ooh, that sounds so nice.
Now you got all 40 of them for $12.50 or $12.50 each?
For $12.50. Probably all 40.
Because that's kind of a weird. Why didn't they just want 13 or why 12.50?
Maybe it was a negotiation.
I'm thinking that's individual. But if you're able to make hopefully you're charging shipping on top of that. So as long as you can make that work, that's one listing for 40 items and boom, that's what? $1,200 in value you added to your store by just one listing. Larry Todd says, damn, I thought Jen was perfect. None of us are.
I am not.
You know, even some of these YouTubers that many people, I'm not saying you Todd, but many people like to look up to as, wow, they said it, so therefore it must be the way it is. They make mistakes. I've caught one of the bigger ones that made a mistake on their video in just how they sourced. It's like, man, you left so much money on the table. But people look up to them as like gospel, right? We are all on YouTube reporting experiences, making mistakes as we go, and don't let anyone else try to fool you that that's the way it is. But I know you're just joking with her. No Designs, I still blame Tommy for that. Not sure what, but okay. We blame Tommy for a lot of things. Pitco says cost of doing business sometimes. Yes, and speaking of the cost of doing business and blaming Tommy, I blame Tommy for my lighting setup in a good way. We finally have, I think, that worked out. But one thing with the lights that we have the light that's above everything, right? And it's Aperture is the name of the company. And I have the softbox and the diffuser on there and everything. But like when I have black items, it still kind of washes it out a little bit. So want to kind of figure out from you guys, even with proper studio lighting, I mean, natural light would be the best, but that's not an option for me. How do you set it up to where you're just not getting, you know, I got lighting from here, 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 and up here on this black, like these are black floor mats, right? And I don't want them when I'm putting the picture up on my listing to look like they're kind of washed out gray. And that's kind of what's happening there. So that's the only problem I have with my new lighting setup though right now. So maybe you guys can help me figure that out, because
Tommy said I can help with it. It's an iPhone issue.
Is it an iPhone issue? But I changed my my settings towards +7 in the exposure, but that seems to lighten it up. So do I go the opposite way with black? We got Silver Hair Larry Todd says John Jenna and my 8th favorite reselling couple.
There's really that many?
Well, we appreciate being in your top 10.
That sucks. I don't like to be number 8.
Yeah. Jimmy D, you mentioned a video checking your pictures on eBay. How can you check to see if your pictures in your listing are 1-to-1? Well, you can't once they're loaded onto eBay, you really can't. It's really that I know of. There's not a way to go in and like click on your photo and say, oh, wow, this is the wrong, until you try to get it pushed over to Mercari. Once you push it over to Mercari, when you're cross listing, now it's going to be like a blown up picture. It's going to be not 16:9. It's going to show up on Mercari like a blown up picture. It only shows like the middle part of your photo. And like if you're selling like a pair of shoes, it's only going to be like showing like half of the middle half of the shoe. So it's just a good habit to get into, to just start now getting all your photos 1-to-1. Maybe you have no intention on cross listing, but maybe 6 months from now you will. And that item, if it's still in your store, you're going to be happy you put it 1-to-1. Yeah. Because eBay doesn't care, but these sites, I think Poshmark cares. Poshmark doesn't care.
Yes, they do.
The same?
It's an issue when you're cross-listing your photos from eBay to Poshmark or Mercari. Mercari is the worst. They give you a pic like this big, and it just ruins your whole cross-listing experience, because somehow you have to figure out how to go in and fix all the photos, and it's super annoying.
But how do you take your photos? So if you're taking your photos on your iPhone, right, it's going to default to 16:9. And if you've never changed it to 1-to-1, it's probably 16:9. So you know that I have to go and physically change to 1-to-1 before I start my session. And I don't know how to set it up. Sure, there's a way to set it up to where it defaults. I'm going to need to learn that. But until then, every time I do my session, I'm putting it 1-to-1. If you don't do any of that, if you've never changed your phone to do 1-to-1, you probably are 16:9. And anything you decide to push over to these sites, cross-listing, regardless of the tool you're using, is going to give you those same photos, which they do not like that format. They want 1-to-1. Big Dre says I spent $700 on inventory over the weekend. Total comps and everything is $4,000. Now it's time to list. Yeah,
nice.
There you go. That's
those
the way
are
to do it.
great sourcing days.
So that's a what? That's a 5x. No, that's a 6x. That's good. 6x flip. So well, potential flip. Jovial says, "Get him, Jenna."
Mm-hmm. You better believe I will.
Pot G Graham says, "Yes, the drama. I've got my popcorn." We try to provide you guys a little bit of drama,
just a little laughter.
Tommy says he is used to wrapping them Coke bricks to mask the smell just to have it.
Yes, you with your
I don't know anything about Coke bricks. I've never done drugs in my life, and that is the absolute truth. Spam Banshee says, I read a comment in an eBay group. Seller was told by eBay customer service that an order was canceled because AI scanned messages between the seller and buyer where the word cancel was mentioned, so eBay canceled. So
that's not
so cool. If you are offering your buyer an option, hey, this is happening to your order. We can either cancel or we'll do whatever the other option is. That's AI. That's AI in my opinion, in its most ignorant form. If AI cannot read a conversation and understand what's being said, it should not be used, because that's just going to cause problems. That's horrible, and bad on eBay for not getting that right before they implement such a thing. Gail says, John goofed up. Mm-hmm. What did I goof up on this time?
Because it was your fault that I picked the wrong shoe.
So it was really John's fault.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the thing.
It was 100% my fault, but I'm going to go with whatever you guys like.
Okay, here's the thing, guys. I wrapped these shoes. When you look at them, now, the shoes in question, the shoes in question that were shipped out have gray and orange, and you can see through this wrap to see it's gray and orange.
You can't see the orange.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't, because the
orange stitches you can.
No.
Well, you can't. I can't show you guys because the guy. Well, actually, where's those shoes at? Where are they at? We do have them. You know which number they were in?
I think they're in that one.
This one? I'm going to show you guys if we can see
They are sitting on top of each other where the orange is covered. So with a zillion layers of cellophane, you can't just peek in and look. So
I think you've hidden these shoes.
No, I have not.
They're well hidden.
Just continue on. You're
hold on.
Wrong. They weren't way up there.
They weren't even wrapped. So, ma'am.
Oh shit.
Here's where she gets into trouble even worse. I ran out of cellophane. And when I listed these shoes, I put in the listing without not wrapped. So the whole goal was to come back and wrap them.
Hold on, because that's not correct.
These are the shoes that they bought, and they have an orange, and they're not wrapped. And it's not my fault. I'm glad I looked. Oh, I just dropped my shoes. So we'll just put that to rest.
No, hold on.
She's so badly trying to correct me, but look, it happens. Mistakes happen. Even to add to that.
No, it doesn't. Look.
What?
Look. It says number 35. Those are not even the right shoes. You just see, burn.
What? Burn what?
It's not the right shoes.
Okay, so I had the wrong.
They're in 35.
Well, how did they end up there?
Those aren't them.
Because I didn't have any shoes down.
Those aren't them.
Okay, but nonetheless, guys.
Oh, somebody put the wrong. The wrong. This is getting worse. More and more.
No, it's not really
on you than it was on me.
I'm just saying.
This is getting worse for you.
Kelly says Jen deserves a break from packing orders. John's turn for a while.
Yes, I'm going on vacation. I'm out.
Hey, look, I don't mind if I have to do them. I'll do them the night before because
No, he's gonna get hurt now, and say I'll just do it at night.
I can do it at night.
No, you're busy.
Of course I'm busy, but if it's a problem, then I could do it at night. And obviously they want me to give you a break. So
it is a problem when you mislabel them. And then you want to get all...
You know how you can fix this, though?
This is your fault for putting me on blast in the beginning.
It's a good conversation piece. There's people right now eating popcorn because of
No, they're eating KFC and whatever else they're eating.
You know how you can avoid this mistake? You take the shoe and you compare it to what's in the photo. Oh, this ain't the thing.
How the am I supposed to do that with 1,900 layers of cellophane?
There's not a layer of that. That didn't get wrapped.
Those are not the shoes. You're wrong.
But when you took those in this box, they're not. Oh, these are not even Nike. These are Adidas. Come on.
I will take the blame for the mistake. However, I'm pointing out all of the key details that led to my poor choice.
Take Henri Squaw's wise advice. Says we all make mistakes. It happens. I'm sorry, Jenna. That's all you gotta say is I'm sorry. Grandma, I'm bad. I'm just razzing her. That's all. But it's good conversation. We all make mistakes. Grandma Mary's Attic says, after watching Friday's podcast, I opted in. Yeah, I mean, eBay's going to opt you in on your behalf for most people. But if you weren't even offering calculated shipping to begin with, then they probably weren't even going to mess with you. It's for those who are using calculated and not given the discount. What are you laughing at?
Henri Squaw says, take this comedy show on the road.
Killishaws 33 says, hey guys, sorry if you answered this already, but how did yard sales go for you guys? I didn't stop it to one yard sale.
No, they're talking about our.
Well, the question could have been both. The yard sale we did, we made $51.
And then we spent it
on lunch. And we
lunch.
went to lunch. I said, honey, let's do this. Let's wrap this up at 10:30 because I ain't sitting out here waiting for people waiting for any more drive-bys where people just drive slowly by and don't stop. And let's go to lunch. We went over to Juan's Flaming Fajitas.
Where I was just waving at people as they drove by.
I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, you're sitting there and, you know, the guy pulls up.
I mean, they have
driver's side towards, so he pulls up and on a driveway and he's parked there, but he's not getting out.
No,
he has his window rolled down and he's looking. I'm like, hey, good morning. And the guy doesn't even look.
He doesn't even say a word.
Another 20, 30 seconds and he just drives off. I'm like,
wow. We look at each other and we're like, did that really just happen?
And you know, this would have been, I wish we would have done this. We got it next time. Well, next time could be a long time. Next time we ever have another yard sale, I think I need to wear my GoPro and just have the yard sale and take take snippets of what happened and what the highlights and put it into a video.
The highlights and the lowlights.
Yeah, the highlights when people come walking over and they're looking at stuff and they spend $1 and then, you know, they go away. And it's like, wow, you know, we're doing this for $1. But paid for lunch. We ended up with the $16 profit by the time it was said and done. And we had a nice lunch. We went late morning, driving around different community sales. And because it was somewhat warm and the stuff that we were seeing that people put out was pretty sad, we didn't stop. We were also guilty of the drive-by. And that's pretty, I would never, ever want to do a drive-by or actually do a yard sale in South Side Chicago, because I don't know if they've got a gun or if they're really looking at the items that I have out on my driveway. So we had a lot of that going on. Devon, I know it's bad humor. Wow. So if you're here for the humor, you're on the wrong channel. Sorry, guys. Devon Short says, are we being mean to Jenna? Do I need to kick some ass?
Mm-hmm. He needs his ass kicked. I mean, literally over the weekend, he's just been a pill.
Oh, geez. Jovial says, is the doghouse air conditioned this time of year? The doghouse is in Parker, Arizona. I go in about a week and a half.
He's about to go early.
Kina says, hello. Thanks for being here. Donna Francisco says, we all learn every day. I've benefited so much from the both of you. Can't stop watching because there's always something new going on at FAE.
Oh, thank you, Donna.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Hugh says, hello, all.
Hello, Hugh.
Jerry Johnson says it's okay, Jenna. Just wait; it'll happen to John sooner or later.
Oh,
It's gonna happen.
It will.
I mean, nobody's
he makes
perfect.
mistakes all the time, so I just don't, come on YouTube and tell everybody everything.
I'm sure most of the people appreciate the fact that we took the time to share our experience.
Oh, and they just like to watch because we are just funny.
EBS says, hi, John and Jenna and FA family. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
Big Dre picked up a women's mannequin at $4. Comps are $125, but I think I'll keep it for extra photo when listing women's clothing. Mm-hmm. Plus, those large mannequins are hard to ship, and unless you do a marketplace or something. But I like to do flat lay with clothing, but everyone's a little different.
Yeah, I think some clothes look better on a mannequin, but that's my opinion.
No design says, for some odd reason, Devon, I read that as I will drumstick. Andre Squaw says, the lost package from last week arrived to my customer just in time for the next customer to open a case.
Wow.
USPS needs to deliver my packages.
Wow.
Devon says, I have made many shipping mistakes in my day when you send the wrong package to the buyers. But let's look at the silver lining, right?
We might have another sold shoe.
Yeah. He was so impressed with our mistake that he wanted another. Well, hopefully
he was impressed with his poly bag.
Yeah, but no. He didn't get a...
Yes, he sure did.
No.
Yes, he sure did.
No, ma'am.
Yes, he sure did.
You see this right here? You shipped him this.
A box in a bag.
Yes, but he's going to get shoes without a box. The ones I just showed you guys, he's going to get those without a box. And
he originally purchased a pair of shoes that did not include a box.
Yes.
I sent him a box with those shoes in a poly.
Yes. But most customers aren't going to remember the way we remember the items. Spam says, buyer need to update their address.
And says, here we go again.
Seller said they could cancel the order for buyers to repurchase with correct address, but eBay AI scanned message and cancel the order before they agreed upon what to do.
You already read this.
Yeah. No, I didn't read that particular one. I read it, but it was laid out differently. More explanation offered here. But again, AI should never be implemented unless it works. And obviously it's not working. Tommy says, I sell shoes with no insoles every day. Lots of people replace them before wearing. Germaphobes and also runners get custom ones made. Never be scared of that. No, I'm not scared of that, but I know that I had to take the price down like $10 because it's a defect, right? It's not the original complete shoe. Some of these shoes advertise, we have like this cushiony insole technology, and it just wasn't part of this pair. Paul Mendelson says, sorry, part of the problem the agents we're talking to. When I asked the agent to please repeat the problem we spoke about, and it turned into something totally inaccurate and missing the info. Yeah. And that's why you should never allow an agent to submit any kind of report on your behalf, especially one where someone's making a determination on a case, or like negative feedback, how they do the negative feedback removal tool, and they type in what they think is the problem, and you get turned down because they didn't even understand the problem to begin with. And so when it comes to negative feedback removal, I still have success from time to time, but you have to be the one to put it on type in the negative feedback removal tool. No one's going to explain your situation better than you. And mainly is because you're invested in that problem. A customer service rep, as soon as you hang up, they're on to the next call. They don't care about you. Let's just be real about that. Some reps care in the moment, right? Some do truly care, but as soon as they hang up the phone, I promise you, they're not losing sleep over your situation. No. They're not getting back to work the next day looking at your account going, I wonder if they got this. No, they've forgotten about you already. Yeah. So, and it's not because they're bad people. It's just the mindset of someone who works at a call center. Mm-hmm. It's call to call. And as soon as that call is over with, they're done. Mm-hmm. And the only time they ever have to relive that call is if somehow their supervisor listened in on that call and they have to sit and listen to the call with their supervisor. And it ain't about your situation. It's about how they handle the call or how they try to resolve the situation or their verbiage they use. So it's not anything to do with you or resolving your problem. So Gail says AM0 pouch.
She's trying to
Purse.
be discreet for ammo pouch.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they were
It's
ammo
fine. You
pouches.
can say ammo.
I don't know if you can or not, but thank you for
Ammo. Move on. Big Dre says, I sourced 3 DVD players that ended up broken. Only paid $18 for all of them, so I'll sell them broken for $20 each. Working, they would have been $100 each. So that's kind of a bummer, right? You go to a yard sale and hopefully you ask them, hey, does this thing work? Oh yeah, and they'll like when I got that one device, bought it for $3 at a yard sale. It's a receipt scanner, and it had the receipt in there that showed they paid like $120. It had all the accessories. It looked like they had used it a couple times to scan a few receipts and put it back in the original box. And so when they said $3, I'm like, okay, right, I'll buy it. But is it because it somehow didn't work? They broke it. They dropped it in water. Who knows? But they knew it didn't work. That's why the cheap price. They're happy to move on from it. Hopefully those people just legitimately didn't know that those DVD players were broken. It just kind of sucks to think people would dump broken stuff on people at a yard sale. That is really kind of grimy. And the fact is they know where you live if you're selling that kind of thing. We got another super chat. I didn't see that, so bear with me. See where I left off. Says Devon says, love you, John and Jenna.
Oh, we love you too.
Yeah, we love you too. Thank you for being here. I mean, look, you guys probably have a lot of things to do going on with your business, and the fact that you're kind of hanging out with us,
listening to us bicker.
Yeah, but you know what? Honestly, I know that there's part of the audience that kind of gets a kick out of us being real, and this isn't a show.
There ain't no fake around here.
As soon as this,
the only thing fake are my nails.
Only thing, when we're done here, we're probably gonna like say something and bicker, and it's just part of when you love somebody. This is kind of the way that you interact with them, right? So. Hopefully it doesn't turn anyone off. I mean, it's not meant to be like the bickering hour. Anyone like Mike Camparelli, I'll just tell you this. Mike Camparelli, Archie Biscuit Butt, they were driving with us in Cincinnati to and from yard sales. Okay. Mike, if you're still listening, buddy, it's okay.
I'm surprised he's still our friend.
It's okay. You can attest to the real. This is real. That's what this is what we do. And, it's actually kind of fun. Sometimes you're right. Sometimes you're wrong, but it's kind of fun. Shane sells a ton of hats.
Yes, he does.
And so I'm going to have to find is your store listed? Do you have your store listed on your YouTube channel? I'm going to have to check Shane out and see what he's doing, because see, if people are selling, this is a tip that I've always kind of had for people. If you're selling something and you cannot sell it for whatever you do, it's just not, the thing ain't selling for you. You got a bunch of them, but you see other people selling it. Well, maybe you should see what they're doing, because I have some pretty good hats that we still have on that account and they ain't selling. Mm-hmm. So what are you doing that we're not? So I have to check it out, unless you're selling for like $5 a hat. And that would maybe be the reason.
I see Shane on TikTok most of the time, and he's showing his hat.
Honorary Squaw sells a lot of hats. So it's time to go in, find these hats, see what the people are doing, and try to emulate if that's the case. Tommy says, because they have 20,000 items listed, hats have a horrible sell-through rate. Of course, there are now anomalies like any category. Yeah, that's true. But I'm talking like we've had like 50, 60 hats listed for months. And I could see maybe selling one every month-ish. We haven't sold a hat since last year, I don't think. Killa Shaw is 33. What kind of hats, if you don't mind me asking, I might be interested? Well, let's see. We've got, I'm gonna hold those. Hopefully show and tell.
Oh my gosh.
Knock my own head off here. Okay. So.
We sold a hat on April 4th. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's the hat that we bought at that one yard sale for $1. But
yes.
These are brand new tags, golf hat, Adidas. Okay. I think I have that for
says Utah
Utah Championship. It's a golf hat, flex fit. We got this Boston Red Sox fitted hat. It's like a velvet. It's really nice condition, made by American Needle. It's an older one. I don't think it's vintage though. We've got this Spider-Man trucker hat, right? Nice shape. We're not talking about dirty hats here. We got this Mitchell and Ness. You guys can see that?
I like that one. I think it's
Golden State Warriors camo. We've got another Mitchell and Ness. Houston Rockets, NBA. We've got another Mitchell and Ness. Oops, you can see that. Oklahoma City Thunder. Great shape. We've got this. This one is a new era, I think 47. Classic hardwood. And that's a Chicago Bulls, Windy City. This one's, this one Jenna liked. This one is a Derrick Rose hat.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Derrick Rose is from Chicago Bulls, I believe, but it's Adidas.
I like the colors.
There's many different colorways for this hat, and this particular one had a sold comp for like $20-something. We got this Aloha. We don't have too many more. Aloha hat.
Scott says, "Is this your new Whatnot channel?"
Yes, this is. I'm not selling anything right now. Dirty Ones. It's a fitted hat, brand new with tag. I don't know what Dirty Ones is, but this is not a dirty one.
They're all bidding.
And one last hat. This one's a Volcom, new with tags. Volcom's women's hat. So my hats are in good shape. The ones that we have up for sale.
Yeah, when we do buy hats, we're pretty picky with them.
Yes.
We only buy ones that, any interest.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
The Mitchell and Ness ones I picked up for $4 a piece, 5 for 20. I figured, Mitchell and Ness, really good stuff. I like Brett. He sells, I don't know if he's here today with us, but he sells Mitchell and Ness stuff. Like there's like this running out of style, and
yeah.
I can't even sell one of the 4 that we picked up.
It's pretty sad.
Or whatever. Soda City Flips says, John, you and I store our hat collections the same, and my wife hates it also.
It drives me crazy.
Big Dre says, keeping a Cody cooler. I paid $37 for comps, $400, but it stays in the triple digits during the summer in Texas for like 7 months. Yeah, we have a little cooler.
Those are cool.
Like
the Cody coolers are really nice.
Well, maybe
you don't know what a Cody
maybe need to look into it, because what we have, it has like tubing that goes to the vent. I have it rigged so that the one vent that's in our garage that leads to the outside, it is, getting air in and out of this air conditioning unit, and it only air conditions my knees. So it like I'm standing in front of it at the photo table. It ain't.
Oh, Scott, you are just. Why don't you dig in a little harder?
Was it a moist thing?
No. But now that you mentioned it, it's coming now.
But Shane, I don't know any other way. Going back to Shane's comment, though, I don't know how the better way to store your hats.
I'm going to buy you something.
I don't want a stupid rack where I keep it on the wall and have hats hanging all over the place. I don't want that.
No, I have the perfect solution, and I'll just buy it.
You'll talk to me about it. Henri Squaw says, I have a horrible sell-through rate stuff. And, I think that's part of the problem with our second account. So my hope is that by all the stuff we took out from the yard sale is now out of our account, our second account, and that the sell-through rate will sort of correct itself.
See, I knew it was coming.
But for me, it's trying to find a way to get the sales normalized on that second account. Or if it doesn't get normalized, we're just going to have to put the better items on the main account and just go with the one and just be done with it forever. Mike says, hi, Shane, feeling better, bro. Hopefully you're feeling better. I didn't know you're feeling bad. Gail has all of her hats in stacks.
I thought it said socks at first.
That would be odd.
That would be different.
And then Jerry says, told you, Jenna, guess it was sooner. What did she tell you? I don't know.
I think I forgot.
Soda City says, much better, and I'm glad you're doing better. I'm going to go live tonight as scheduled.
Yeah,
okay.
He's already live.
Oh, I see. So why don't you just wait until after my live? Because Beard doesn't go live, I don't think, after our show. It's on Mondays, and we can always send people over there. But I don't know. Let's see. Honor Squad said, I just mailed out a Bonnie Raitt hat today.
Oh, how cute.
What's Bonnie Raitt?
Bonnie Raitt is a country artist.
Oh, okay.
An older version,
it's like Mini
generation.
Pearl. Mini Pearl with the price tag hanging, that kind of hat.
Mini Pearl?
Remember from Hee Haw? You don't remember Hee Haw?
Okay.
Anybody here remember Hee Haw?
How about you just age yourself a little bit more?
Okay, I'll do that. Honor Squad said, I just mailed out. Okay, I just heard that.
This golf trip cannot come any faster.
Land Shark Picker says, Lisa, how are you? We're doing fine.
It's Lissa, not Lisa.
Lissa, okay. We got Major Win for the win. Hold on.
Major Win.
Thanks for all you do. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate you, and thank you for the super chat.
They started a channel. I mean,
they did?
Yes.
Go check it.
Well, they only have one video. It's like an introduction.
So, got to get past the introduction. Know that if you're starting a new channel, know that your first few videos, in the scheme of things, you're going to look back and you're going to say, wow, these videos suck. And you're just going to get better. And that's kind of how you do it, right?
He said it's terrible. Don't watch yet.
Yeah, but I can tell you, there's one big YouTuber that has like 300,000 views. I don't think he watches my channel anyway, but I ain't going to say his name. If you guys know, you know. If you don't, you don't. And his first video, if you go all the way back to see, sometimes I like to do this. It's like, where did they start? How bad were their videos? So you can go back to their first video, and it was about his freaking cat. It wasn't about anything but his cat. And that was his first video. And the guy has over 300,000, I think 300,000 subs. I'll write it down. We saw him in Cincinnati. You guys are wanting me to tell you, and I can't say. It's 2 words. F and K.
Yeah.
F and K. F and K.
Hey.
Jovial Juggler says, I make mistakes every day. I have me, myself, and I to remind me. Don't need anyone else to jab me about it.
You need to get yourself one of John.
But you have
he likes to
just twisted my nipple.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. That's not nice. Glenn Cameron says that pink hat with the written blue M is iconic.
Oh, your
the one that I wear.
Golf hat,
yeah, that's a Travis Matthew hat.
Yeah, Travis.
And I
don't
really have any pink stuff to go with it, but I have a lot of blue stuff in it, and it just matches up. So that's gonna be my rotation. So now what happens is we have like 4 rounds of golf we're gonna be playing back to back days, and the guys like to just dress golfy.
Oh my God. You should see the way this one guy dresses every single time. He literally starts planning his outfits the year before.
And we're talking
and I'm talking the most hideous golf attire that you can buy. It's on a whole nother level.
So that's a bolo for you, even though it might look like wow, who the hell would wear this kind of thing? If it's golf, people will wear this stuff. Yeah, so
it's wild.
We all get together, and that's how I don't dress that weird. But I still try to match up.
What are those blue shorts that you have?
Oh, I have some light blue shorts with white polka dots on them.
Are those polka dots?
I think they're polka dots.
I don't know that they're polka dots. I think there's something else.
There's something.
He has golf shoes that have $1 or $100 bills on them.
Yes. And my Puma Ignite golf shoes, and they have the design is $100 bill, and it's like navy blue. It's pretty cool. They're limited edition ones. Yeah. So I got permission to go buy some golf shoes just now. You guys hear that? Tommy says, what if it's a meatball made into a fire, Ken? He needs to get creative. Oh, you're talking about my
no, when the doorbell rang, he said
meatball and tire. But I think maybe have to get some meatballs with the fire coming off of them for like an icon for like the members. Big Dre says, I'm running out of space in my garage, my storage unit. I'm gonna have to get rid of what's left in my personal storage to make room for the 16 totes I'll be adding later today. Yeah. And that's kind of the challenge. I mean, you guys remember last year about this time, I think it was in May, when we got all those acrylic cases. We had stacks of them behind us. God. Sometimes you just got to know it's a temporary situation. I wasn't sure at the time how temporary it would be, but those things move pretty fast.
Yeah, because you just never know when you make a big buy like that. Sure, you could check the comps and all of that, but you never know if it's really going to sit there or for how long, or if it's going to be a good buy or a bad buy.
Keith says, Big Dre, yeah, I did electronics diploma, which gives you the skills needed, but you also need a lot of test equipment, bench power supplies, solder stations, not easy or cheap to get into. And for me, it's like, I like electronics, but I just don't want to spend the time to get in there. If I can't get it to work, parts or repair, and just get what I can out of it.
What'd Steve say?
Stephen J says, forgot to mention yesterday was our 24th wedding anniversary, 24 long years long.
Happy 24th wedding anniversary. That's amazing. You don't hear about long marriages really a lot anymore. So it's really cool that you may not be happy about it, but I think it's cool.
Big Dre says, just made a sale on Depop for $595 for one of my Bella Terra anti-aging creams. If the sale goes off without a hitch, I'll continue to list on Depop. She knows about that stuff.
I don't even, that's too high end for me.
Yeah. Duncan VR says, I'm glad I got past that one.
You would never catch me buying any cream.
Anti-aging cream?
For $595.
Duncan VR says, sales good, but
murder me.
Sales good, but one clown asking to cancel the sale. I haven't shipped his yet, but he's getting blocked. I don't get many bad buyers like that. So I had one over the weekend where it's a part for a Pit Boss smoker. And it's like the metal cover with a little slide that allows you to adjust like the venting or whatever inside the garage. I have a Pit Boss smoker, but it's not the one for mine, so I didn't keep it. So I listed it, and the guy bought it and then canceled. And I'm like, well, you know what? I ain't gonna process this cancellation right away because I could, but I'll just wait till I'm ready. And I planned to do it last night, and then I got a message from the guy saying, hey, you know what? I know I ordered this for the wrong smoker, but I think I can make it work. So I'd like to not cancel. So it's good I didn't. So I said, fine, we'll ship it out. And we didn't have to deal with the cancellation. So my advice is eBay gives you a certain amount of time to process a cancellation. Sit on it for a little while. Let it marinate. Let the buyer, and there's another channel that wants you to not cancel right away because you're punishing them. I don't believe in that. Punish the buyer for being that way about not knowing what they're buying before they buy it. But I would do so because sometimes you get people that just really don't know what the hell they want to do, and they want it, they buy it, they don't want it, they want to cancel, but they're like, maybe I'll try it, and then they reach out and then they decide that they should never have canceled in the first place. So that's my advice. Sit on cancellations. You get like a day or two anyway, but don't allow it to be late. So if you have like a same day handling, then cancel it that day. Jovial says, John, would you touch base on opening a second store, please? Pros, cons, etc. The pros and cons of opening a second store, it allows you to list items that you maybe shy away from. So like for me, for instance, if I just had the main store, we would probably pass on a lot of the hats that I just showed you because I realized that the lower ticket items that I've introduced to my store just don't help my store. They seem to, when I introduce low ASP items, it seems to just drag my store down, if that makes sense. So it allows you to maybe, I enjoy selling these things, but I don't want it to hurt my performance of my main store. So maybe open a second store. One bit of advice I gave Josh Galt, which he did not take, and he's my friend. He certainly don't always take my advice, regardless if I'm friends with you or not. But I was able to kind of share my thought with him that maybe you take the things that are really just not selling, just sitting there for forever, move them with a tool like InkFrog, for instance, where you can put 2 eBay accounts and within the same library of items, and move the items that are sitting there forever, maybe like a clearance store, I guess is what I'm saying. And then once you have those items away from your good stuff, you might see an increase of sales on your main store, and then you might still get sales on your secondary store, but then you cross list like we do. We cross list to the other sites for the stuff that didn't make the cut for my main store, if that really makes sense. So, and we've been introducing better things to the secondary store because I don't want clothing and shoes and stuff in the main store, mainly because like I said, we cross post, and I don't have a cross posting set up on my main store. It's only on the secondary store. So it seems like my secondary store is turning more into a clothes/shoe store, which isn't a bad thing. If you can do it right and deal with the competition, then you can make it work. Noah Design says, isn't the YouTube a business as well? I still haven't really looked at it as a business. If I'm being honest with you, it is, but I don't look at it with dollar signs. There's a lot
So that means I don't have to go live because I'm manning the business, not the YouTube.
Yes. That's what you mean.
Thank you. You justified it.
So, look, I'm not gonna guilt her into doing it.
Will.
I've already tried. It doesn't work, so I'm not going to do it anymore.
But there's still more time for you to.
I'd like her to do it. I think it would be kind of cool if she did. I thought it was cool when she did it last year. I really did. I was really proud of her for doing that. So I would encourage her to change her mind. But if she doesn't, and I guess if she does, we'll let you know. But I just don't see the YouTube as the same way a lot of creators look at it, as dollar sign. I don't get dollar signs in my eyes when I look at making a video or going live. I just don't.
If I have to go live by myself, you're going to be paying dollar signs.
Yeah. Tommy says, no way,
$1 bills.
No way eBay isn't going to make sellers whole if a transaction is canceled after shipment. I don't buy into that. This is the whole reason I don't ever read eBay groups or sites.
Yeah, I don't think they'll make them whole at all.
Yeah.
I think that's a false promise.
But they put it in writing, right? So if they put it in writing, then you have something to, look, no one's going to take eBay to court. Nobody's going to litigate with eBay. That's just impossible. No one's going to do that. But I think if eBay gets enough pressure from people, let's go back and look at the whole FedEx debacle. It was a problem for a good solid week. And then it became more and more people. The more and more people start calling the call centers, that gets their attention. And guess what? They came up with a resolution, little banner saying, hey, we know there's a problem. We're going to fix it, blah, blah, blah. Be patient, 5 to 10 days. And for the most part, most people got their money. So I think it just really depends on how squeaky the wheel gets when that happens. Ping G says, I spent 10 days in Florida at WDW. I don't know what that is. About 2 years ago, Walt Disney World. About 2 days ago, because that's in Florida. Put my stores on vacation because I had no access to a computer and do not use eBay on a smartphone. But I'm sure, one thing is certain. We all know one thing happened. You did not get a single sale, and that's the reason why I don't want to put my. You can't get a sale if your store is on vacation mode. You can't get a sale.
It'll just give a banner that says this person is.
You're right.
Out,
you know what? You're right.
Is gone for 2.
I made a mistake. She's right. I stand corrected. So it does give a banner. You still can, but I don't want to discourage that action. So Tommy says, account is suspicious. Don't ship, blah, blah, blah. Always comes a day after shipping. Yeah. Josh Galt, listening while driving. I wasn't sure you were here, but I used you as an example of what I was, I'm sure you heard.
What not to do.
No, about just the second store thing.
I'm joking.
On response says, no, we cannot see who is highlighted member.
In the chat, it'll have their name will be green.
Yeah, the name will be in green font. Aunt White says, I found a really easy way to create an entire inventory list. Use Alexa and created a list. All I had to do was talk to her. She even printed it for me. Super easy way to create an inventory list.
Wow, that's innovative.
Let's see. Go down here. We got Noah Design says, hey, hand guy, that sounded dirty and interesting at the same time. Weird. I think talking to you, Larry Todd. Call him Mr. Handman or Handyman. Henri Squaw. Okay, I see what you mean now at the. Okay, Tommy. We'll skip some of these weird ones. Tommy says, Jenna, sounds like your parents played the We Are the World children commercials of the starving kids in Africa on repeat like men did. Eat your peas or look like that. She was a very spoiled child.
After my dad passed away.
Yes.
After my dad passed away.
When they became very, very rich and just did whatever they wanted to do. Brenda Smith says, happy Monday, everyone. I agree with Jenna on the peas, wings, and ribs.
See,
really?
I'm not the only one. My sisters are all the same way.
Well, as far as the wings and ribs, you haven't had mine. See, that's
I don't care whose they are. I'm not eating meat off of the bone.
That's where it all comes from.
No, you don't gnaw on bones. That's just not. It's not cute.
It's normal, though.
No.
Josh Galt says, spoke with eBay today. They said my issue has been isolated and fixed. At noon today, my sales blasted off $500 in 4 hours. Well, good.
Sweet.
Awesome. Because I know you were pretty bothered today on Primo's show. And so bothered, I even called you to say, hey, man, you okay? And he put me on instant. He put me on instant decline on his phone.
He sent you straight to voicemail.
I went straight to voicemail. It's like, wow.
Now your gnat is attacking me.
No Design says, Jenna, don't say you don't like pee in your mouth. Blah blah blah. Wow, that's just bad.
Like
Tommy says,
green peas.
You are my favorite reselling couple from Las Vegas on YouTube that go live Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Hands down, not even close. Well, thank you.
Oh,
we're ahead of all those other couples that do that.
Yeah.
From like my neighbor and Jay Brooks says, hello, thanks for being here. A lot of like why I don't eat pea talk. We're gonna get past that. Rob something says for blacks, okay, you need to ensure your white balance is correct on your camera. So I guess I need to check that, but it's my iPhone and I've messed with all the different settings and
I
it's
don't
just
know
like
how you did it correctly though, because I probably could show you.
I have Tommy, I have ProCam. I bought the damn thing and I don't have it set up at all. And I don't know what I'm doing with it. But he uses ProCam. So my white balance is exact match to the lights. But when you're close, it makes it worse. With dark colors, stand back and use zoom. So I'll have to look at that. I mean, I paid for the damn. I don't know what it ran for this ProCam, but I'm paying for it. And I don't even know how to use it. I'm not even using it. Dark Horse says, iPhone used to be better. I've noticed a lot of bugs and glitches in recent months. Some very frustrating.
My iPhone works perfectly.
Dark Horse is iOS 17 is supposed to be for stability and performance, but since 16 something's been much worse. I don't know. We just, again, it's like eBay, right? So they can update whatever they want, and if it glitches out, you just got to figure out how to use it and get through. According to Tommy, the issue happens really bad with clothing sellers. I see it every day. When they zoom in on a logo or something, black is gray.
Yes.
They stand back and zoom, it won't happen.
Yes, that's what happens to him.
Michelle Williams says, hi, J&J. Funny you talking about food. I'm watching y'all as I ate KFC chicken, mashed potato gravy, and green beans.
Great. Now I know what John's having for dinner.
That does sound good. I like my Popeyes a little bit better than KFC, though. Tom says, you just go into camera setting and preserve all your settings. Will always be that way by default. Okay, so I have to find the setting. It's in iPhone, but I have to set. But you use ProCam, I think, to take your photos, right?
Yes.
So that's probably where you're doing it.
He says it in the comment that you might have skipped, but you may not.
I'm just trying to get through, honey.
I know.
Dark Horse, that may be a language barrier. I have had a similar thing happen years ago. Maybe talking about reps on the phone. I don't know. Tommy says, Jenna, tell him to get a shelf for shoes, 8 by 10 by 36 or something close. I think you can fit 500 pair on a shelf and skew them properly.
500 shoes
8 by 10 by 36. This is, you're talking about, no, this is a much bigger shelf than that. So maybe
500 pairs. How do you wrap them or store them?
Kelly says maybe a better inventory system is needed.
Hey, send me a picture, Tommy, of your inventory.
Anytime Picker says, John, Tommy can set up everything the right way, but he needs a ticket to Las Vegas.
What? John?
He wants me to fly him out to Vegas. Tommy says, Jenna, with our tiny stores, John don't need a shipper anyway, just like my wife and I go to the outlets Ulta every morning. Ulta
every morning? Every morning? You're slacking.
Don't look at me. Who would want to go to Ulta every morning? That seems like a waste of time. Brenda Smith says, the tangle web you weave. And Jenna is my spirit animal.
Yes.
Thomas says, John's inventory system is to blame, not Jenna.
Thank God.
There's nothing wrong.
Thank you, dear Lord.
I can navigate
Tommy,
through my inventory system. No one Design says, if it gets this bad selling one shoe, imagine if John was a shoe seller. How did you guys get on her side all of a sudden? See, this is why
you brought it up to try to sabotage me, and it's coming back at you.
If you went live...
Wait, Tommy sent a photo.
Yeah, he did. Because she's in my Insta.
Yeah, you are. I am.
I don't know how you'd pull that off, though. That seems like you get like 3 shoes in a box. I don't know if I like that or not. Henri Squaw says, I have a hard time at yard sales. I feel like I'm being watched. And Gail says, I use a megaphone and invite them to stop on my drive-by.
We need to get one of those.
Or throw a siren. Get a megaphone with a siren, and they'll like stop because it's like, oh, I'm doing drive-by. This is what Tommy sent. If you guys,
I don't know that he wants that on YouTube.
Well, it gives you an idea. I'm sorry, Tommy. I don't know if you want that on YouTube or not.
I mean,
but it just
throwing it out.
It's
all over the
what
tube.
we're looking at. What we're looking at doing here. Lindy Moo says, "Hi, are internal sales a significant thing for anyone?"
Says, I don't care.
I've been selling for only 6 months, and they represent about 20% of my sales. Thanks.
Per box. Okay.
Internal sales, a significant thing. Now, when you say internal sales, I'm not sure what you mean by that. International. Okay, that's okay. International sales for me, I hardly get any international sales. Yeah. So if you can get 20% of sales that are international, then you're adding, 10 to 20% more than most people. That some people don't bother with it. I don't use eBay international shipping because it has hurt my account, and I don't need it. And the items that I sell really wouldn't do well overseas anyway. They're just too big. Pitco says, mistakes happen. I'm sure we're all guilty of it at one point or another. Yes. And let's see. Steve Poste says, John, you're always at fault. Get used to it. Yeah, it is what it is. Designer Muppet String says, you guys are extra funny going at each other this evening.
I don't know what's in the water. I don't know why.
Mio's in my water.
Mio's in mine.
Soda City says, John, Jen, I love you guys, but time to start my show. Thanks for letting me kill some time with you later. Chat. Have a great night all. Well, thank you for being here. You're not here to listen to that, but
he's been live for 32 minutes.
I know, and I've been behind by 32 minutes. Yeah. Dark Horse says, I do understand boxes generally are better protected from damage, but as far as unboxing goes, polybags over boxes. Randy Price says, is this a glitch on eBay? I'm starting to get offers from sellers, items I am not watching. They happen to be the same items I'm selling, so I get confused and accept the offer thinking they want to buy. If you're a seller on eBay and you're getting offers for the same item that you're selling, chances are you've done research and you clicked into that person's listing a few times, and eBay has determined that you are a potential buyer for that item, and that seller is you're going to be on that seller's send offers to watchers list. And be very careful, because it hasn't happened to me much at all. But when it does happen, it'll say, here's an offer, accept. And you think that you're selling the item. So be very, very careful.
Somebody's sending you the offer and it's really the opposite. And it can really make you buy something that you already have.
Yeah, be very careful with that. Tommy says, I feel like I'm calling Roman every time they answer. I always do a double take at the number. Kelly says, you don't have to watch an item to get an offer. Those go out even if you look at an item. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Chastity got a cha-ching. That's more of a ka-ching. $120 vinyl sale. There you go.
Nice.
Henri Squaw says, when I worked at a call center, you had 15 minutes to get them off the phone. Well, we didn't have that problem.
We didn't have that. Yes, they watched our call handling time, but we were never forced to get off the phone after a certain time.
I remember when I was a new hire. This is way back in the day.
Wow, that was
like 93.
Ancient. That's vintage.
That's 93.
This is vintage talk.
That's right. We had this thing called and I'm wearing the hat. I'm wearing the shirt.
Yeah, sadly.
They had this thing where it's USA Rail Pass. And it actually was Explore America Fair. It was the Explore America Fair. This was nothing you could find now, but it allowed them to take a trip around the country on the train, and they can plan all these different stops and get off for 5 days or 2 days and get back on, but they had to plan it all out. And I had this customer who wanted to book this last minute, so there wasn't hardly the availability. You had to have so many seats available to offer that to them, and it wasn't available. So I'm like pulling my hair out trying to make this trip for this lady. She's like, "I'll take the time, all the time you want." She's like, "I'm going to clean my house while you look for these dates." And so, yeah, the vacuum cleaner was running. She came back every 10 to 15 minutes and checked in with me. And after about an hour, we got this thing built.
That's before they even had speakerphone.
Yeah. But yeah, so she put the phone. No bullshit. Get out of here. You suck. Randy Price says, "Okay, cool. I thought maybe it was a glitch because it started happening more often lately." Yeah.
Are you listing more often and therefore looking up more items?
Well, that's a good thing. Andre Squaw says, "That's how my husband and I communicate as well." Mike says, "Yeah, I'm still here. I love you guys, warts and all. I'm far from perfect as well."
We love you.
Christine says, "My love language is bickering and wine." Major Win says, "Hey all, Miss Flippin' Ain't Easy. Thank you for the positivity for our first video. We're so grateful for the support."
Yes.
We've been there. It's every YouTuber that you watch has been there, and their first, it's kind of unsettling when you first make your first video. You're like thinking this sucks, but you know what? People watched and they stayed. So that's just got to keep building your channel. Tommy says, "I listed around 100 vintage K-brand and other vintage hats in amazing condition about 3 years ago. 3-stripe, etc. Took them all down after a year, other than maybe 5 sold in 1 year." Yeah. Got through the finally at the hat discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot of competition on those hats. I think I didn't see a lot of comps on some of these hats, but people are looking for a certain hat, and there's lots of them out there. Bearded PokeTuber, hard to sell those basic new sports hats when you can get them brand new at Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Burlington for 8 to 10. But I only have them for like 10 to 20. They're not. I think a couple of the newer ones have like a $22.99 or $24.99. It's not like I'm trying to get nuts with it. The Honor Squad, Derek Rose like yours just sold for $24.99. See, I'm not trying to get crazy with it. I do know Derek Rose though. LH073 says, "Does it matter if you have a Google Chrome or Firefox when it comes to platforms?" No, not really. I would prefer Google Chrome because of the extensions you can put on there. We're using Amazon and doing things with Amazon, and we have the Amazon extensions. And I just think that because it's a more popular browser, it's going to get more support. So if you're having problems with one, there's nothing wrong with trying the other one, but Chrome is pretty solid. Noah Design says, "John, careful with cool air on the knee. You'll get the moist knee sickness." Jeez. Tommy Bernard says, "Polybag and fold the hats in each other in a long box. Can fit loads in there." Yeah, I won't polybag the hats. I'll put them in a box.
I think maybe he's talking about for storage.
I don't know. Beards is trying to decide if I have the energy to do the book show tonight. I know, John, you haven't read it. Depends on the book.
He hasn't even listened to it.
I do all kinds of things. I do listen to. I'm still on Rich Dad Poor Dad. I got to finish that thing. Designer Muppet String. I love Hee Haw. Good stuff. See, I'm not the only one. I didn't know. I actually did. I can't say I enjoyed it. It was something as when you're a kid and your dad has it on the TV, or you go to a family's house, they have it on the TV. Well, guess what? That's what you're watching. And so we learned to tolerate it. I think one of the musicians was Dave Clark, the country guy. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure many of you guys or gals who sell LPs know who Dave Clark is, but that was one of them on Hee Haw and a few others. But I remember Minnie Pearl with the hat with the price tag hanging down, the old lady. Overjoyed says, "When do you use FedEx or USPS? What is the deciding factor?" Well, for me, it's the amount of time it takes to get to the buyer. So when I initially set up the listing, I have a calculated FedEx plus $1, calculated USPS ground advantage plus $1. And then when I'm doing the listing, I'll plug in the weight and the dimensions and see what range it gives me in price. And I'll just do the drop down for FedEx to see how that compares. And the one with the lowest price, the lowest range, is what I implement. Now, if they buy ground advantage, and a lot of people disagree with this, but this is the way I do it and have not had a problem. If I buy ground advantage and it turns out that the prices are similar and FedEx is a faster option, FedEx ground is usually about a day faster than ground advantage, I'll do FedEx over ground advantage because I want the item to get there faster than projected. So that's kind of what I do. Plus, also, FedEx has these rewards programs on their site. So this month I'm not hitting my quota, but they had a thing where it's if you get 100 packages in a month shipped by FedEx ground, then you get like a $50 gift card, blah, blah, blah. So it's always in the back of my mind, FedEx if I can. But I ain't even going to come close this month.
Roy Clark. And
Roy Clark.
Owens.
Yes, Roy Clark, not Dave. Why was it Dave Clark? Basket Noodle, always do 1-to-1. Why would anyone landscape?
I don't know.
Because it defaults at 16:9 for most people do theirs on their phone, and it is kind of easier to just let it to default. I have to always change mine in the iPhone. No Design says John plans his clothes. He is such a girl.
No, not John. His friend.
No, I do as well, but not to that extent.
No, only for this golf trip.
Right.
But it's not even really a plan. He just knows he has one pair of funky looking golf pants.
Well,
or shorts.
You want to tell them the Joe Miller story? The reason why I coordinate my clothes as much as I used to? Were you responsible for that? So why don't you tell them the story?
I don't. The only thing I know is, okay, so we worked with a very fun guy at this place. And him and I first started dating, and John only used to wear jean cargo shorts. Now you cannot interrupt if I'm
real quick. You said a fun guy. He's gay. Well, he was gay because he's no longer with us. But
okay. So anyway, he was like the fashionista of the place. So anyway, John only used to wear cargo jean shorts when I met him, along with t-shirts. And so Joe told him he needed to up his game and change his style if he wanted to reel me in. And so he took him shopping, and
we went to Hollywood.
Yes, they went to Hollywood, and he completely bought a whole new wardrobe, and I guess that's the end of it.
Yeah, we went, and he's like, yeah, we're going to American Eagle Outfitters, and yeah, this is the shirt you'd wear with these shorts.
Yes, and it was, a lot more like patterns and colors, and nothing over the top, of course, because John is just not that guy. But it did leave room for John to explore more options when it came to his golf attire. He has very, very nice polos that are some of them very colorful. And so anyway, that's the
story. I was going to show you a picture. Maybe I'll show it another time. I had it on my phone, but I don't have it with me right now. I can't find it. When you take so many photos of product, it's hard to find the personal photos very fast. But to show how I used to dress back in the day when I worked at the call center.
Oh, you have a picture?
Yeah, I have proof. I have a picture of they used to bring in the bomb dog, the bomb sniffing dog, Amtrak police, and they go around and they plant like some residue, right? And the dog would then stop. And I don't think they did this at my desk, but for whatever reason, I'm sitting there and the dog comes over and like sits right next to me. And they took a picture of that, and I'm like laughing because I'm like, what the heck? But then I told everyone, they gave me the photo of it. I told everyone, this is proof I'm the bomb. So it's so stupid, but it was funny. So it shows you how I dressed, and it was pretty blah, with the jean shorts and all that stuff. Designer Muppet string, loudmouth golf pants and shorts sell great. The weirder the better. Yes.
Yes. And the guy, his friend that they golf with, that goes on these trips with them, they are the most outlandish outfits, fully color coordinated.
The junk trader with us, Anissa, I believe. I keep getting your name wrong. I'm sure I got it right. Anissa or Anissa?
Anissa.
Okay, I'm close.
No, you're
close.
You're confusing Lissa and Anissa.
Christine Anderson, John should go with the John Daly vibe. He's the one that actually, that brand, loudmouth golf pants is his brand.
Yeah.
But I don't drink. I don't do the mullet thing, and I really don't like wearing pants when I'm golfing.
Wear pants
unless it's cold.
Unless it's cold, and that is very seldom.
SCG Collectibles. My wife and I celebrate 31 years.
Yes.
Major Wins is buying an anti-aging cream for $500 put me in the grave.
Oh my God.
Wow.
John would literally murder me. I would be in the grave.
Bearded Picker says, Joni is lucky to have had me for the last 32 years, 35 total. You know what? Sweet. I think you say that in jest.
Yeah, Scott, Joni just puts up with you.
I think you say that in jest, but to be honest with you, I used to watch you on YouTube, looked up to you as a reseller on YouTube, got to meet you, and then got to become your friend. And I can say
that's kind of iffy.
Well, I consider Scott my friend.
It's a joke. It's really a joke.
But I'm just saying this is kind of a moment here. But I'm saying that I think that she's lucky to have someone like you, very, very hardworking and loyal. I don't know anyone who would put in the effort. I mean, to drive as many miles, to go through the things that you go through to find the product that you find. And it is just amazing. People talk about, well, I don't have the product to sell. I don't have the items that you have access to. Well, neither does Scott. Scott doesn't, he lives in Huntsville, Alabama. Okay. His sourcing, he might have 3 yard sales on a weekend. Okay.
On a weekend.
And you know what? He doesn't limit himself to his location. He goes, and maybe some people don't have the ability to do that, but most of us here watching have a car. He goes around to different locations, different states, and he finds product. So that's one example, guys, where you might not have a whole lot of yard sales. You might be in a rural area. I can't even say the damn word. I never can. But I guarantee you put Scott in that house in the middle of nowhere, he's going to get out and find the product. So you definitely someone you got to look up to. Yep. Devon says, I've been married for 24 years.
Nice.
Dark Horse says, trust me, you'll get to be patient, but list the D-Rose hat for 40. Thank you. Thank me later. I'm serious. Okay. Maybe we'll have to up the price on that.
Maybe there's something wrong with the listings. You're going to have to look at it.
I have to look at a lot of it.
Maybe I have to.
Gwen has only wanted to kill me 35 or last 38 years of marriage. Basket Noodle says, yeah, I'd stop where you are, John, or there'd likely be some cellophane wrapped shoes on the pillow next to you for weeks. Yeah, or it might be around my face. I might be on one of those shows she watches. John Gaynor says, hi, Jen and John. Some buyer who buy and cancel just want a feedback without buying. I have this happen all the time. But with mine, you don't get feedback unless you leave me feedback. This is the way it's set up. It's the automated thing that we have. Now you can set it up to have it as soon as they buy, but I don't consider the transaction complete until the buyer has determined it's complete by leaving feedback. Biff Boffo says, got here late, thought it was People's Court. We have no judge here. But speaking of judge, Judith R., I'm new seller. Buyer kept low ball offer. Said 14 low as I would go. She came back to 13, so I blocked her. Will I get in trouble? No. Nope.
It's your prerogative to block who you'd like.
Nope. You can block her all you want. I don't know. To me, if you're that close, though, I guess you got to consider how much you're into the item for. If we're off by $1, maybe it's close enough to lock in the deal. How long have you had the item? If you just listed it, I had someone, it's one of those, it's a PREETHI mixer. It's an Indian brand. It's from India, and it's like a Ninja mixer, and it sells fairly well for me. When I get them, like 3 of them already, they sell very fast. But I listed one and I got like a couple lowball offers. I listed them for like $80 plus shipping. They wanted to give me like 30 or 40. And it's like, no, the lowest I'll go is 60. I'll go as low as 60. I'm into it for $8. And finally, I sold the thing at full ask. And I didn't really need to really bargain anywhere with the person. If I would have had it for like a month sitting there, I may have taken $40 and just moved on. But I knew the item that I had, and we weren't close on the price. Being that close in the price, look at a couple factors. How much did you buy it for? How long ago did you list it? And if that $13 will still allow you to make a little bit of profit, it might be worth buying, accepting the offer and not bother with the block. Dark Horse says, maybe selling children's books isn't a bad idea like the classics. A lot of parents are worried about kids' books today, rightfully so.
That is very true.
Basket Noodle says, well, let that be a lesson next time you have a yard sale. Don't wear your eBay cologne. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's so many yard sales going on here in Vegas on the weekends, as the ratio to yard sales to buyer is so high that it's diluted. That's just my theory. There's only so many buyers out there at a yard sale. I think if you only had 20 yard sales in town, there'd be a lot of people coming out and checking stuff out. Known Design says, I forget my anniversary once and got told I was the human version of period cramps. So I gave her my wallet and told her to go ape shit, and got sexy time later that night. Wu-Tang was right. Jeez.
Wow.
That is FedEx, I think,
no,
right?
It's USPS.
Oh, good, because I didn't want to have to go last minute here. Major Wen, there's something special about being reminded all the time that I was the accident that caused my parents to openly weep in the diaper aisle in their 40s. Paul Rose says, hi, John, Jen, and chat. Just finished mine. Gone tonight, midnight, catching 10 minutes or so with coffee and biscuits to come down. We'll watch on catch up. Have a good one, peeps. Yes. Remember you had said earlier that you weren't going to be able to make the show, but you did. So thanks for being here with us. Tommy says, not trying to be rude, but Jenna wouldn't have made a good cave woman. No, should have been dragging me by the hair. Kelly says, Jenna could not survive an apocalypse between having to eat meat off the bones or canned peas. No, but I promise you, if it was an apocalyptic moment and we came across a can of green like peas, green peas, she would eat them.
No, I wouldn't.
Between that and starvation, I promise you.
I will starve. I will eat crickets before I eat peas. There is a texture issue with those peas, and it's just disgusting.
There's no texture issue with crickets?
I'd rather eat something crunchy.
Carla Olson says, Jenna, were they canned peas? My mom would boil the canned peas until they were mush. They were disgusting. Well, she cooked them wrong. Okay, frozen peas only, no canned peas?
I think it was a canned pea.
She doesn't want peas at all.
I want to say it was canned, but I don't know. It makes me
U.S. Sports Cards. Hope you all have a great week. Hitting the like button for some luck. Yes, hit that like button, guys. We're going to be doing this for a few more minutes, but appreciate if you guys hit the like button, and it helps the channel get word out. We get new viewers all the time that pop in and say, hey, I'm new to the channel. So by doing that, that helps us, but also it puts something out in the ether that you're going to get a sale in the next 24 hours. I don't know why or how it works. Admiral Mighty Buffoons. What ended up happening with the college kid scammers who would send smelly packages back to sellers? They went away. And I think they probably didn't get the rise out of me right away. And they were maybe expecting me to make a video about it right away. We didn't. We made a video only when Kevin Commonwealth reached out, and we kind of did ours together. And I don't even think he's had a problem with them since. So maybe the university stepped in and figured it all out for us. So sometimes when you're dealing with people like that, you never end up getting the closure that you'd like. But find out what happened to these people. We'll never know.
Yeah.
Major Win says, wait until we show our setup. It looks like a Goodwill bins without the organization.
Just FYI, USPS has not come.
Who was at the door?
That was a return, I just said.
From who?
I don't know. Amazon, I think.
Oh, God. An Amazon return? Well, I surely didn't know I had one coming. Beard says
they're going to be late.
Well, then we'll get it to them late. We'll get, unless you want to go. Jerry Johnson says, hey, I've always been on Jenna's side. Comes from having all brothers and working with all guys. Tommy says, Roman, just move in with your in-laws like him and still claim to be a bazillionaire. We have I Augusto with us. I would have told her, is your vacuum running well? You better go catch it. And this is a very true statement. Reselling isn't for everyone.
That is absolutely
it's not
true.
for everyone.
Hey, he had actually something really profound to say.
I know. Maybe he had something typed in all along behind those dots and they just never showed up.
See it.
Tommy says it evolves all of the time. Major Win, but right now is the cleanest I've been able to be. Whole business inventory runs off of 2 shelving units now. That's pretty awesome. Beard says it makes a difference, Tommy. Shipped 67 today, 63 on 2 shelves. It was very nice. Basket Noodle says, tonight on Flip It Ain't Easy, hee-haw, whatnot. Yes, Flip It Ain't Easy. Not what. Hee-haw, not what. I don't know. Roy Clark was the name, by the way.
Dave's there. You missed Dave.
Where's Dave? There he is. That's a lot of shipping. But he wasn't talking to me.
Oh.
Major Win says, we look up to you all. Our whole channel is just to document our journey. We just hit 5,000 items sold, so we feel now it's a realistic time to get started on YouTube. We look at y'all for your insights. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
I
can't wait to watch you grow.
Yeah. And then Keith says, okay, guys, I got to go. It's getting late here. Been good to catch you all, guys, again. Catch you all on Friday. Yeah, we're getting close because we have to make a run to the post office unless they're late getting here. Tommy says, I was saying earlier.
If he's not coming by 4:30, he's not coming.
I was saying earlier, settings camera, you can preserve the last settings used. They will be default. 1-to-1 will be default. Okay. I'll have to do that as soon as we get done here. Just trying to catch up in here.
Well, you're not going
Thomas says, I envision John in LA gear, high tops, JNCO jeans, US Polo Association shirt, Dracar Noir. Yes, you got part of it right. Frosted tips with Aqua Net Extreme.
Oh,
no, none of that.
No.
But at one point in high school, me and my best friend, we did get the lines in the side of our head.
Wow.
The lines etched in for a minute.
John used to be a rapper.
Oh, I didn't even rapper.
No, yes, he thought he was so cool. He was a rapper.
Let's see. Major Win says, my pop tried to buy discount Nair on the early web and almost second-degree acid burned his back.
Oh, my gosh.
Nair for short shorts. Remember that?
Yes.
He says, if you care for short shorts, you
Brenda, 45 years.
45 years.
Outstanding.
Yes. Richard, 30 years of wedding bliss. There you go. Tommy, if a new seller, your shipping is probably outrageous and the market is market, you're either going to take it off the price or fix shipping and pass on the eBay discounted rates. Yeah, I agree with that. Pink says, my SO comfort food was meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and canned peas. I prefer frozen peas. How about the young green peas? Those are the best.
Green peas?
They're the peas, young peas. They're like they're not the green giant ones. It's like the silver can. Those are like the best peas. Judith says, thank you for your answer to my question. I love your honesty, frugality, YouTube banter, but love the shines through all that. Best channel of all. Well, thank you, Judith.
Oh, thank you, Judith.
Thank you. And hopefully you're subscribed. I appreciate that. Dave Harrington says, my post office usually picks up around 11 a.m. They haven't arrived yet. They slackened today.
Yeah, ours be slacking because it's almost 5 o'clock.
Well, I noticed that if I get there after 5, between 5 and 6, they'll still scan it. They'll still get it in and scanned. And, it is what it is. I get the daily pickup. Going once every blue moon to the post office ain't going to kill us. Overjoyed says, sad that crystals has no value anymore. My parents spent a fortune on this stuff. Back then, they're under $20 items now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you. I think we're going to wrap this up so we can get this stuff to the post office. But thank you guys for I think Jovi was asking, what's Major Win's channel? I think it's Major Win.
It's Major Win.
Same as how he has it set up.
Yeah, just click on his
Major Win with
click
an
on their
exclamation.
name.
But thank you guys for being here with us again. We love having every one of you guys. It's hard to believe that like 150 people watch us cut up and just talk eBay, but yeah, but it's the way we are, guys. It's not a show. This is just the way it is for us. It'll be this way in 5 minutes from now after we turn off the camera. I'm sure I'm going to get an earful for mentioning something, but it is the way it is. eBay is going to have its problems, guys. Don't be surprised if next week something else happens. As long as my thing is, it's only going to bother me if it affects my money. Now, if they do something where it's going to affect the payout, that's where I'll get kind of bothered by it. Otherwise, the money keeps, they haven't missed the deposit yet. So the money keeps coming in. And that's, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. No matter how you get there, as long as the result is where you want it with the money, and that is it. So glitches are going to happen, but figuring out how to navigate around it without it bothering you to the point where it demotivates you or it just kind of throws you off is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. Well, you guys have an excellent rest of your week, and we will talk to you again on Friday.